I think it's time for me to research and raise some hell. Hey, wait a minute. Wait. How many Hellraiser movies were there? How many of those went direct to video? And it's Thursday. You know what that means? It's time for us to have another Throwback Thursday. And we're gonna go back in time. Throw up that celebration, because Heart of the Stories We Tell and me, Rob the host, is going to take us back to a quick nostalgic look and see how a story was that might be a little bit on the older side. So celebrate your week almost being over as we look at Hellraiser. Now, this is one of the first scary movies that I really sat through as a kid. About the time the second or third one was coming out, I saw the first one. But there's an important lesson here. Hellraiser is a franchise, an entire series of movies, comics, toys, you name it. And it's all based on the work of Clive Barker, at least the original work. He wrote the original novella, he helped produce the film, and then he sold the rights. Ouch. Now, I don't feel sorry for Clive Barker in the way you might feel sorry for someone that never had a success or never made any money. He has plenty of stories out there that are well beyond successes. In fact, if I had half of his success, I'd consider myself happy. But at the same time, there's that part of me that goes, what if? What if you had that one idea that seemed like it wasn't going to catch on and someone was going to throw some money at you? And then poof, it took off, and that's the one that spans all of these editions. I mean, really, that could happen. Even now, direct-to-DVD sales of these are still going on. In fact, there's a 2017 one in works right now. So who knows how far this could go, or how far it could have done, had Barker stayed at the helm. But for now, when we do the breakdown, we need to throw this up there. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. The setting is almost always modern Earth. Now, yeah, we go into the past or the future a few times, but for the most part, it's just the real world. The characters are where it gets interesting, though. Between the first and second movie, we have a handful of shared characters and concepts, but for the most part, the only thing that unites all of them is Pinhead and the Cenobites, the concept of these characters. And as such, there is no real human protagonist to follow. So the plot is not always linear, because again, we jump through time at least twice. But in general, it's flashback. Because, you see, the story is the story of the Cenobites, which are these demonic creatures that were once human, but they made a deal with the devil, or maybe they are the devil, it's never 100% sure. But that deal allowed them to become super sadomasochists. And of course, nothing bad ever happens when you make a deal with the devil. Now, point of view for horror movies is also kind of backwards. Remember when I said those reoccurring characters aren't reoccurring that often? Except for the bad guys, Pinhead and the Cenobites. Well, we don't follow their point of view. More often than not, we're following the human targets of them. People who get caught up in these deals with the devil. People who need to get away somehow, or solve the puzzle box. And then there's theme and symbolism. First of all, the entire thematic idea is the deal with the devil. Be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. Because you see, all of these people that become Cenobites were pretty bad people. And literally in Bloodlines, we find out there is a deal with the devil himself for making the puzzle box. And that there is a succubus that has to listen to everything they say, unless they get in the way of hell. I never really understood the entire why they did that, but the whole thing is that when you make a deal with the devil, you get burned. And when you're trying to just get caught up in all of this, the only way out is through trickery, through solving that puzzle box. Now, the idea of a sadomasochistic fantasy, the idea of these demons being sex demons, always reminded me of the succubus. I always felt that Clive Barker, when he wrote The Hellbound Heart, had the succubus in mind, a darker take on it, but I couldn't find any interview where he mentioned succubuses. And I could have swore I had when I was younger, so I'm not sure, maybe I'm just crazy. No, I am crazy, but, we'll have to wait and see. Now, I'm going to skip over the good, the bad, and the ugly, because to be honest, with the amount of sex and perversion in these stories, I couldn't find a lot of pictures I could use. And to be honest, There are some very touchy issues I don't want to get too far into, between incest and force and consent. But either way, I'm curious what you thought of Hellraiser. Because, like I said at the top, it's the first horror movie I remember actually wanting to sit through. Because I thought it looked like a cool concept. Maybe it was because I was just about to be a teenager and was kind of horny, I don't know. However, in my opinion, you could do a lot worse this Halloween than watching through the whole Hellraiser series. A series I'm giving a silver rating to. Even if the story hasn't ended yet, and we don't know when, or if it will. Now I am doing an entire Halloween-themed month, so check out some of my other videos. And of course, if you liked this one, hit that thumbs up button and share this video with a friend. If this is your first time here, or you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and enable alerts. I'm trying to build a community, one that can look at the hows and the whys of storytelling. Every Sunday, I put up a theory video, and this month, they're all going to be horror movies. Mostly horror monsters until the end of the month. So if you're interested in a good scare, click on to see more. For now, I'd like to thank you for watching this and my other videos, and I hope you enjoyed this walk through the heart of the stories we tell.